If you missed Kevin Fox this week, you missed a lot.
AZ is in Modesto. AZ, welcome to the show. What say you?
Hey, Kevin. Good to talk to you. It's the first time I ever call a talk show. I'm a refugee myself from Iraq.
Okay.
I'm a Chaldean. It's pretty much like we and the Syrian are cousins. So I heard you talking about my cousins, Assyrian people who've been here in the valley for a long time, and it influenced me to call you today and get in touch on the refugee ban issue. It's really a hurting thing to see coming from the president, but I understand it's for our safety in this nation, and I totally agree with him. I don't blame him for anything, and me myself, I have an in-law family that are in Turkey right now waiting. I'm hoping that they can make it over here to the United States just like I did, and so they can have a better life, living with no fear from being prosecuted by the Muslims over there.
Yeah, AC, let me ask you then about your experience, if you don't mind sharing.
Sure.
What you're a refugee here. What were you escaping from?
Well, from being killed by Muslims.
What, because you're a Christian?
Yes, Chaldeans are Christians, Catholic Christians from Iraq.
Cousins to what around here most people know commonly as Assyrians, and you refer to it as cousins.
Well, pretty much we share the same culture. Dialogue is pretty close. I mean, there's slight difference, but in general, we share the same culture.
You're
over there
separated.
in Iraq.
You're separated merely by dialect, that sort of thing, right?
Pretty much,
just
yes.
kind of accents or regional dialects and that sort of thing. So what types of things, and you feel free, you get as personal as you want here or not, because I empathize, man. I sympathize. I want, and I think you heard me say this, I think that right now, in these global times, what you're running from embodies exactly the reason the Pilgrims landed on this shore. I am not anti-immigration. I would love for you to come here. The scary part is we don't know who's crossing the border or flooding into this country on refugee status, because history has shown us these people could be the ones that are persecuting you. And the reason you're coming here, and we want you to come here and worship freely with us. We want to share that American experience with you, and we all want to be safe. If you would like, please share some experience. What's happening over there to Christians? Bring that home for us.
Well, definitely. I was saying that to be a Christian person background from Arab countries is really not an easy thing. I mean, always I remember being questioned by the Muslims always about our faith, and they always take the chances, to try to convert us to Islam. And once they have that available chance, they took it, and they start killing us over there. Literally chopping our heads. The priest from my church over there, he got laying against the wall, and he got shot in the head, multiple shots. Him and a few people with him. I mean, it was a horrifying thing being there. You don't trust anybody over there. Even your closest or nearest neighbor that you have can flip on you in a minute without even noticing.
And when you say flip on you, is that because they fear being killed? So they will, self-preservation is in a lot of people's human nature. So is that the kind of situation? Is you don't know who to trust, so your neighbors will go to somebody so that because they fear being killed, they'll say that guy's a Christian and you should look at take care of that guy. Leave me alone.
Oh, it's not like that. Pretty much, it's telling on everybody. So as Muslims over there, they all gather together, and they start chasing like the minorities, like Christians over there, and we have some other groups over there in Mosul City, where I'm from, in Iraq, and they just literally start like chasing all the Christians. And you saw in the news like how Christians being kicked out of Mosul. They didn't allow anybody even to get, like their personal belongings or anything. My neighbor next door, he's also from Mosul, and his parents were over there. They didn't let them like even take their identities, like IDs and stuff, their passports. They just let them like leave the city only with the clothes that they have on.
So in that scenario, I mean, where did they go?
They just try to flee to the nearest cities or towns over there, which is like the Kurdish areas, temporarily till they be able, to seek the UN help, and then being in the programs where they consider as refugees. And it's a long like vetting process that we went through. I mean, me personally, I left Iraq in 2004. I couldn't make it to the United States till 2010.
And that was where did you stay between that time?
In Syria.
In Syria. And were you able to leave? I know you said your neighbors fled with just the clothes on their back, no ID. Were you able to leave with some documentation?
Yeah, back then I was able, but like after I left Iraq, it went really bad, really bad.
You want to share that with us?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, I don't mind. That's why I called. I wanted to get in touch on that issue. And something else, thanks God, I mean, like a few months ago, I got my citizenship, so now I can say to all my fellow Americans that I'm here, and I'm going to try to protect this country and treat it, like my own country, because over there we see nothing but, pain and hateful and all, every single bad thing that you can think of. So I'm gonna be in this country, and I'm gonna try to defend it as much as I can. And I'm one of President Trump's voters. I voted for President Trump because I knew he gonna do the right thing.
Fantastic, man. I'm really glad you called today, and again, I don't want to sound like I'm pandering at all, but really, your story affects me emotionally because, I've been trying to stir this conversation and get people to talk about the real deal here and the why this has happened, and you are that example. I am really glad that you are here. I'm overjoyed that you are an American. I am overjoyed to hear you say that you love this country and you'll do whatever it takes to defend this country. And I welcome you, sir. I am really pleased that you're a deplorable just like I am. And I'm really pleased that you're listening to this show. And just know that I and other people listening to the show will stand shoulder to shoulder with you because you, sir, are what this country is all about.
Definitely. And I appreciate everything that you do and all the conservative people in this country. That's what really make this country and this nation great.
How about that? How about that for a fantastic story? That really embodies what the American dream is all about. Running for your very life because you worship Jesus Christ. Being chased under the threat of being put up against the wall and shot, which is what AZ shared with us. The priest, where he went to worship Jesus Christ, the priest was put up against the wall and shot. And his neighbors fled with just the clothes on their back. No identification, all of their possessions, they had to leave. AZ from Modesto made his way to these shining shores. This city on the hill, this shining city on the hill. And now he's an American. And he's very grateful for what America has done for him. And you heard the words from his own lips. I will defend her. I tell you what, I'll stand side by side with him. Will you? Will you stand with me as I stand with AZ?
The Kevin Fox Show. Weekdays at 3 on Power Talk 1360 and 1280.